أهلا بحضراتكم. صعب نتكلم على ال future of work من غير ما نتكلم عن التكنولوجي، لأن technology is shaping the future of work. كل ال global trends اللي احنا شايفينها دلوقتي سواء ال hybrid work, ال gig economy, digital nomads was made possible because of technology. Technology is also reshaping the HR practice as we know it. Generative AI is becoming embedded في كل الستيجز بتاعت الامبلوي لايف سايكل، من اول التالنت اكوزيشن للتالنت مانجمنت للريوردز سكسيشن بلاننج ديفلوبمنت. وبالتالي طبعا الدور الكبير بتاع الجنريتيف اي اي بيأثر على conventional rules اللي موجوده. How does this affect learning and development culture within an organization؟ ازاي الاورجنايزيشن المفروض ان هي تادابت للتشينجز ديت بالسكيلينج والريسكيلينج والاب سكيلينج اوف الورك فورس. معانا النهارده a very distinguished panel عشان to tackle these subjects. معانا استاذ شريف وجيه IT Works Chief Information Officer. معانا استاذ علي العطار مايكروسوفت Technology Strategist. And last but not least, we have Ian Bird from IBM. He is the client partner. And I think we'll jump in. Let me start with a question to you, Ali. AI is changing in a lot of ways the conventional roles and tasks within an organization. How is it changing the conventional roles? وازاي organization needs to adapt to those changes?
Okay. Let's start with the general outlook. Technology has been there for a long time. Technology changes from generation to generation. هو speed of innovation هو اللي اختلف الفترة اللي فاتت. النقطة بس المهمة is it's not just about the technology. هي التكنولوجي بتحل ايه؟ فأي business has its challenges and has its opportunities. The role of technology will be for addressing the challenges دي or will be for realizing the opportunities دي. فلو هنتكلم على بعض challenges اللي موجودة that we're trying to address في expression مختلف شوية بيسموه ال debt أو technology debt أو ال debt اللي موجود في ال day to day في الشغل. فأنا for example if I'm doing a lot of manual work or I'm doing work that's repetitive ما فيهوش أي إبداع أو أي حاجة استراتيجيك إلى آخره، ده بيمثل debt عليا أنا كindividual أو أنا كموظف. فده one of the challenges. Another challenge برضو بنشوفه اللي هو the idea of not being able to do in a day التاسكس المطلوبة مني. فأنا ممكن التاسكس تبقى متراكمة كتير قوي and it becomes a problem. Another problem sometimes is the opposite اللي هو بيسموه inertia, the inability to get something done. And another challenge برضو is collaboration between the stakeholders with the people executing the projects. How do we connect these two together? فدي بعض challenges. The opportunities I think are mainly how to use بقى سواء technology or people or changing the way we do the business to get that to come across these challenges or to overcome the challenges دي. One of the technologies دي could be an automation approach اللي هو how to automate a certain process that gets repeated over and over again that doesn't require any kind of intervention. That could be one of the tasks that can be automated. Another one is I can use AI for innovation. I need to come up with ideas, I need to come up with inspiration. I can use AI or generative AI to help with something like that. We tackle we tackle each challenge one by one until we find the right technology and we do the right mindset change to be able to do so. شكرا.
تمام. The organization it has to accept technology. It has to embrace technology. And going against the technology does not benefit the organization.
وبرضه being from a tech company, we're always we always have this approach of technology is going to solve everything, or my technology will solve like your problem. However, I think a lot of tech companies are changing their mindset of let's understand what the problem is that we're solving, and technology is one of the factors that will solve the problem, but it's not the only factor. The people will need to be there, and the mindset shift in terms of leadership and execution will also needs to be there as well.
Right, right. Great.
We always talk about the human technology partnership. So for everything we do from a technology perspective, what's the human impact? And how do we make sure those two things are working together? Otherwise, we all know technology is going to fix everything. Mm-hmm. It's not. Not if the people aren't with you, not if the people aren't there, and the culture's there,
right.
and enabling that along the way.
Right. Yeah, there has to be some kind of balance between technology and human as well. I mean, it's not entirely going to be a digital interface. Mm-hmm. There's some point where technology has to hand over to a human. So
correct.
There has to be this kind of balance.
Yep.
Sharif, let me ask you regarding the AI becoming, the buzzword, has been the buzzword for the past period of time. How is AI reshaping the employee experience from your past experience with implementing projects in that field?
AI, يعني it's a buzzword, and everybody fears it. Mm-hmm. But it's very beneficial for the employees. So يعني sometimes the employees tells me that AI is going to replace me, not only in the basic repetitive work with high depth tasks, low impact tasks, but even with the high impact tasks like programming. So people fear that AI would replace employees, but actually it's like from our experience, because we build a lot of intranets for companies, and that enhance the employee experience in general. So it's the right of the employee to be informed and to be connected and to be engaged. Mm-hmm. If you use AI, for example, you would be able to help the employee, a new employee, when he's onboarded, and instead of sifting the entire documents policies of the company, he would go with a chatbot and ask, what is the policy regarding so and so, in Arabic, in English, and even colloquial. And this chatbot would go and sift the documents and come up with the policy and tell him this is the right way to do it. So what I'm saying now, what I'm currently saying, اللي بقوله, is not a science fiction, is not something that is Elon Musk is talking about with Neuralink. No, it's something that is existing now. We implement it for our customers. So the AI can help the employee get informed, get onboarded, and even I myself do not know the entire pack of documents for the company. So we have an agent, a chatbot in our intranet that I ask what is so and so, what's the policy regarding so and so, and it actually gives me the answer. Being an old person in the company with vast experience, I change it a little bit and use it. So that's existing now, not something futuristic. AI also, I mean, the entire thing can make it easy for people to get trained and even to personalize the content for the internet. For example, if you have a company or a bank that spans huge number of countries, for example, I don't need to get Happy Diwali in Egypt. I get Happy Eid. My friend in India gets Happy Diwali. So the AI detects the location and the culture and sends me the right content on my internet. So from the employee experience point of view, that actually started in COVID, and it's like with AI, it's even getting bigger and bigger. It's an amazing thing that enhances the employee experience.
Okay. So from your point of view, it's entirely a positive experience, positive effect on the employee experience, or is there a downside to it as well? Is there a negative side to AI on the employee experience?
I think, again, back to the human technology piece, it can be both. It can be both. We're seeing examples where employees are the test group. Go, use this, try it. It's going to improve with use. Now that's great, but in some organizations, culturally, it's like, well, hang on, I'm here to do work. I'm here to, serve my clients, help, etc. What if I'm getting the wrong answer with this? So it's finding that balance of how do you take advantage of the technology and do it in the right way.
I was going to comment, going back to one of the challenges that Sharif thankfully pointed out, is knowledge is abundant in all companies, and being able to tap into that knowledge and being able to connect with the people to reach that knowledge is sometimes one of the major challenges. For example, I joined Microsoft a year and a half ago. Part of the challenges coming in is how do I find the right SME to get the right piece of information in terms of, let's say if I'm in HR, how do I find the right policy? Or how do I, for example, onboard somebody new? So all of these steps require a lot of knowledge search, and it requires you to understand who are the people to reach out to within an organization. So all of this with the use of something like an AI assistant, we've seen a lot of companies employ that and seeing a lot of positive results on the experience of their employees as well as their productivity, which of course leads to better gains.
Okay, Ian, AI is having a very profound impact on the HR function. What is the best approach to harness AI across the HR function, and what benefits should we expect from that?
Great question. I look at it in three ways. And this is from our experience and experience of working with clients who we're all trying to work this through because it's such a new and innovative space. One, how does it transform work? Two, how does it transform the experience? And three, how does it help transform or understand your people? So when I talk about transforming work, AI on its own is changing dramatically. But AI plus automation allows work to evolve in ways that hasn't been done before. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing with our own HR organization and our clients as well is helping them to kind of rethink what some of those new workflows could be. To think about actions and work and insight using the AI and the automation to make decisions that they had to do in a very manual way in the past. So we talk about understanding, for example, the training needs of an organization. Well, what if the AI could sift through all of that data and actually give you some of those insights rather than having to go through a round of exercises with the business to capture all of that, when actually then you're having a discussion with the business rather than sitting there with a pen and paper, okay, what do you want this month? What do you want next month? We found that AI can have a profound effect on the employees. For example, we began with our own chatbots. We call it Ask HR. Ask HR initially was a very simple thing. Put information in, get a summary back. We then introduced our pretty complex benefits manual, as you described. I can now query something on vacation, maternity, anything, and get the answer almost immediately. Mm-hmm. We then add different processes, different business services. I can now book vacation through it without having to go to our HR system. I can now query some travel-related information. I can action various processes, and those processes are growing and growing and growing. It's also nudging me now, because we've integrated it into our instant messaging, about things I should be doing that I haven't done. I can move an employee through our chatbot, which in the past used to take potentially hours of time and discussion. Now it's a 2-minute exercise. So AI is is enabling all of that to happen with a level of automation. In terms of understanding the people, we're using AI to infer the skills of our employees. So I've heard the word skills many times already today. Mm-hmm. We see skills as that kind of golden thread across the whole people ecosystem, people experience. So if you can use AI to better and using the data you have to understand your people, you're better able to not just personalize, but also see things that maybe you didn't think of before. So there may be adjacent skills that they have that you didn't know they had in their role. If you then start to move that into a way that you can start to run work, projects, gigs, events, using skills as a core, you can then start to look at the right people to make those pieces of work as successful as possible. And then ultimately, all of that comes back to how is AI helping to improve, and automation helping to improve the experience? How is it getting more seamless? I think we're all fairly tired of having to go here for one thing, here to book something, here to schedule something else. What if that can become a much more integrated and seamless experience? Then you start to see real value. And time saved, and efficiency, and things that were maybe more manual in the past become naturally automated.
Okay, but what is the approach to minimize potential resistance within the HR organization to such new technology, which may be seen as a threat in a way? So what do you think the best approach would be to minimize such resistance?
I think in many cases it's bringing the community, the HR group, along on the journey, having them involved. So you're going to have your shared services group, your functions, each having their own point of view. Well, this is going to take my job away. This is going to replace what we do. When in fact we believe that, I think some jobs will change dramatically, but actually very few. Our own CHRO says that she believes that 90% of roles inside of inside of IBM, 5% of things will change, will go away because of AI and automation. 5% of new things will come in. So our work is changing. We need to evolve with that. But actually, there's only a few small percentage of roles that are going to dramatically change. So in HR, it's about efficiency, effectiveness, and bringing people along on that journey. So some of our own analytics groups, as AI starts to replace what they do, we've helped them to become curious, to learn and grow new skills, to use that data in new ways. So actually their roles are becoming more value add rather than maybe the more transactional roles that they did in the past. So opportunity for all, but bring them along.
Right.
And if I can also add, I think the phased approach that a company such as IBM has undertaken, it's important for the banks here in Egypt to do the same. I don't recommend let's say, a big bang mega project of implementing AI. The best approach is to start small, identify the areas that need the most automation or the areas that are causing the most pains, and then grow together. The other thing that I also want to address is the idea of technology kind of democratizing the day-to-day experience. So, like referring back to the earlier panel, we don't expect HR professionals to be programmers. However, like our approach as Microsoft is that we want HR professionals to be business analysts and programmers. But the tools that they will be using will be very, very different. They need to be very intuitive. They need to be able to understand natural language. So if we're talking about the scenario of data analysis, we need to be able to give to the HR employee the ability to understand the data that's available within the organization, to understand the employee feedback, for example. Another approach would be I want to automate a certain process. If you bring in IT, for example, to try to work together to automating that process, it will take a bit longer. So our approach is like give the tool to the HR professional or to the business user who knows how to develop using a low-code application or a no-code application, which just dragging and dropping the tasks that they do on a day-to-day basis, but doing that within a system by telling it to use natural language is actually one of the key areas that we're focusing on as Microsoft and with our clients as well.
Excellent.
I'd like to add something. There is a new discipline of engineering that is not really engineering, that everybody can learn, and I think HR professionals should be the first people to try, which is prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is the way you write a prompt, you whisper, you order the AI chatbots or AI program to give you the results that you want. So that's a new discipline, but it's progressing fast, and it does not require anything but to have some logic and a language. You write English or Arabic, but it is found that if you write in a certain way, the AI will give you subprime results. If you write the prompt in a better way, it will give you great results. So I think I should recommend that everybody should play with, and thank God, Microsoft and IBM and even OpenAI, all of them have AI tools that a layman can use. So start playing with it. It's free. And start learning prompt engineering, because this is going to help you a lot in your jobs, and you will not need IT at all after that. They can even write your code. If you have a database, you can, if you use prompt engineering, you can ask the AI, and I need to write a program that does so and so. I mean, it will write it for you. Other than that, so prompt engineering is a discipline that is for the layman.
Okay, Sharif, let me carry on with this discussion. How is AI boosting the effectiveness and the efficiency of the HR department throughout the entire cycle of HR or the employee life cycle?
Very good question. So I mean, the masters of the domain are around. So let's start with the talent acquisition, for example, the recruitment. Talent acquisition, there is no need anymore to sift and go through 2,000 CVs for the position. With AI now, I mean, without paying so much money, AI can read 2,000 CVs, categorize them for you. I mean, it's an API that you buy with cents every month, actually. They read the 2,000 CVs, they classify the candidates, and they sort the candidates. That's from the acquisition, for example. That's one example in the acquisition. Let alone the example of acquisition of interviewing and testing. If you go into the organization, for example, the talent management, you can use the AI to suggest organograms, to suggest succession, to build employee manuals, to build job catalogs, recommend change and enhancement in job catalogs. And the nice thing about what I'm saying is that it exists now. It's not the future. I mean, we do that for ourselves and for our customers.
Right.
So if you go to talent rewards, for example, I mean, as Ian was saying, the manuals, you can query the manuals with plain English or plain Arabic and get official results. So, I mean, HR people can free their time and actually do strategy more and do more people-centric activities more. So AI can be used in the entire spectrum paradigm of HR, from hire to retire, as they say.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'd add one thing there, one thing that's been quite insightful. AI and understanding AI, and back to understanding your people and using AI with that, it provides a whole new way of understanding kind of almost your workforce, and from a workforce management perspective, maybe new ways of opening up, actually, do I really need to hire somebody here because I actually have the skills internally? And maybe I didn't see those before. So these new insights can help you make new and different decisions about unlocking mobility in your organization, giving people new and different career opportunities, which ultimately aids retention and, you know, career within the organization, rather than, oh, Ian left, go and hire another Ian. You know, then, you know, keep doing what you were doing in the past. So that the AI can, and the insight, i.e. the data of your people, can really help you make a big difference.
Okay, let me shift to the impact of AI on the reskilling and upskilling requirements for the workforce, whether inside or outside the HR department. How should an organization react to the reskilling and upskilling requirements of the workforce in a way that is, you know, with the speed and pace required to face the ever-changing, rapid technology that is affecting the roles, the conventional roles of the workforce?
I think you've got to make sure that the whole organization is coming along with this, from the board, the CEO, all the way down. We found that actually coming out and talking about this to our own organization, about what was needed and the impact that would have on our own culture and the way that we work and operate, was pretty profound. So we talked about having a culture of continuous learning. Many organizations do now, but skills at the heart of that. And we made it clear to our own organization about what it means to be an IBMer and what we should do from a development and an upskilling and a reskilling perspective. One way of doing that is to actually signal, to indicate what are the future skills you're looking to grow, and make that very transparent to the employees in the organization. If I know where we're going, I can help plan that journey, as opposed to realizing that the skills I have don't match what the organization needs in the future.
Right.
And then making sure that your learning, your development ties to the specific skills that you're looking to grow, so that every piece of development an individual takes, you have clarity over what impact that's having. And back to this kind of skills as a currency, if you've then got all of that connected, you're better able to start to see what people know. Back to, can you infer the skills they have? What do they know? What can they do? And what opportunities can you offer them? So that means that every individual can develop and grow in a way that's right for them, because you're making that learning and development available to all, but also because the AI, back to AI at the heart, it's knowing that what I need versus what Ali might need are actually a little different, and therefore it can push the right things to us at the right time. So reskilling at scale, culture, and put learning and development at the heart, and doing that in a very transparent way allows an organization to start to do that and shift the needle. I think one interesting fact from our own reskilling that we've been driving over the past, what we call ourselves an AI business, but we're also a people business. 50% of the revenues of IBM are from skills we didn't have 5 years ago. So if you think about that, what that means to a 260,000 person organization, the volume, the breadth of reskilling and upskilling we have had to go through intentionally has had a dramatic effect on our people. And everyone now, in the past we used to talk about taking 40 hours of learning every year, because that's what was that's what was needed to continue to work in the organization. Our employees are taking double that, triple that year on year, because they're curious, they need to grow, they need to learn and develop. So back to the culture, back to making the learning available and doing it in a very transparent way across the organization.
And I'm sure this will give them, a certain level of security, as far as, that you're trying to reskill them, make them more adaptable to the changes in technology. This would give a level of comfort that technology is not a threat. It's
Absolutely.
Exactly, yes.
Absolutely. Yes. And you're putting the development back in the hands of the individual, the employee, and you're making it clear. As an employee, you are expected to grow and learn and develop and be curious. We can't continue in a world where we're just kind of mandating, check the box training. Actually, it's a different culture now. The self-consumption, self-development, etc., is at the heart of that.
And to add to that, at Microsoft, we have one of the first things I was told as an employee is a growth mindset. It's the idea of not thinking I am the expert, even if I am the expert. It's the idea of continuous learning, going back to the point of Ian. So how do I, as an individual or as an employee, employ a growth mindset? It goes down to the transparency of how effective I am or how effective I can be towards my organization. So going back to the earlier panel, the idea of having somebody from strategy of the bank, for example, to be there when it comes to the discussion of scaling, of where I want my organization to be, and accordingly, what kind of talents I would need to achieve the best, for example, revenue growth, or achieve the best performance as an organization. So the idea of setting the North Star, as we call it now, of the organization, and making sure that everybody understands that North Star very well, and what is their role in achieving that North Star, and what skills do they need to improve in to reach that North Star. So having that, let's say, collaborative approach between the strategy, the executives, as well as the employees is very, very important. So يعني زي ما بنقول كل واحد يبقى يعرف دوره على المدفع يعني.
There is a sobering number that I just read today. There is a company called Gartner Group. Gartner is the biggest consultant in IT, of course. Like they dictate the numbers when it comes to IT. Gartner Group said that 76% of top HR people in the world, 76, say that if they have a plan to deploy AI in the coming 12 to 24 months, and if they don't do this, they will be lagging behind. So, I mean, you have a year or two maximum that HR departments all around the world will have to adopt AI in some form in order not to be left behind. So it's imperative. I mean, North Star, we have to, it's imperative.
Yes.
Cannot escape.
Okay. We can open the floor for questions. Any questions? No questions? Okay. So let me ask you, it's the same question for all of you gentlemen. What is the advice that you can give to the HR professionals in the room to get the higher human impact from technology, to get the best value added from technology as far as human impact is concerned? Start with you, Ian.
Sure. I would say bring HR, IT together, make them work as one.
Okay.
Think about this as a joint benefit and opportunity about how work can evolve and change. You know, the technology is there to improve, to enhance, enrich, to make work easier, to make work more impactful, to get new insights, to drive new decisions, etc., faster, at a lower cost to operate, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. So make sure you're bringing people along on the journey. And to me, that's all about back to what messaging is coming out from your HR leadership. How is that? How are the teams being involved? How are they being pulled in? How are they being made curious? How are you getting maybe diverse squads of individuals coming together to try, to practice, to learn, to give feedback? I mean, we work in a process with many of our clients where it's about failing fast, but doing that in a safe environment and understanding where are those areas that you can drive the biggest value. And when we started with those very high transaction volume areas in shared services, we put the chatbot in to make sure that it became a new layer of interaction with our employees. But that's not, that doesn't have to be the same for every organization. So it's about bringing them along. Mm-hmm. It's about seeing what the opportunity is, but also making them curious too. Back to the, having that kind of mindset of, we're here to evolve this, we're here to develop it, we're here to try new things, and we're all going to learn there as a result. And that can be a very positive outcome.
Excellent. Ali?
So, my advice to HR professionals is the same advice I received, is to have a growth mindset when it comes to trying to figure out try to analyze also what you do on a day-to-day basis. And I typically start, most of my discussions is how many people are using ChatGPT in their personal life. And then I ask them a follow-up question is, how many of them are using it in their professional life? And incidentally, the same amount of people that raise their arms for their personal life will be the same that the ones that they use it for their professional life. So it's the idea of be open, explore, try to figure out what you can improve, and try to see if maybe technology can help improve it. And if it's not technology, then let's figure it out together.
Okay. Sharif?
Do not fear technology. Befriend IT people. It's their job to make it easy for you. So if you get the right IT person, he will speak your language and you will speak his. Technology is not a monster, and befriend IT people and work together. Sit a lot together and come up with solutions that would benefit the entire organization.
Excellent.
Sorry, one more
yes,
thought.
Yeah, sure.
AI and technology is there to help and augment and provide insight. It's not there to replace the employee-manager conversation or the business HR conversation. It's there to enrich and enhance. So I think we should always put that at the heart and always remember that. It's about help and advice. It's not replacing.
This is great. Thank you so much for your insights. This was a very rich discussion. Really appreciate it, and I hope that this has been of benefit to all in the room. So thank you so much, and great having you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.